So today we have 11 from Stranger Things taking on Pennywise the Dancing Clown. Who wins? Well, let's find out. So, let's talk about 11 first. Elle, or Jane, has a few psionic powers, and she's quite powerful as well. Her most used power is her telekinesis, which allows her to move things with her mind and with her hand. She sent a demigorgon flying, restrained it, and then killed it. She sent a demi-dog flying through a window, killing it. She sent a mind-flayed Billy through a brick wall. She's easily snapped necks. When Mike was jumped off that cliff, she held him in place and then levitated him back up. She's lifted a van and flipped it over herself and the gang. She's pulled an entire train cart towards herself, and that thing had to weigh several tons. She can also use her power to levitate herself. Her most impressive feat by far is when she pushed back the mind flare and closed the gate to the upside down. She also has biokinesis. This was seen when she disintegrated the Demigorgon and killed some of the people at Hawkins' lab by making their brain bleed. Uh, causing them to bleed out of their mouth, nose, eyes, and ears. She also has other powers too, like low tier telepathy and things around surrounding ESP, but they're not real useful for a fight. Using her powers always physically strains her, but as she's gotten used to it and as she's gotten older, it's just not as bad anymore, and her limit has gone up drastically. Also, her powers are amped quite a bit with her emotions, especially fear and anger. And after some training with Kali, Elle knows how to harness her anger and focus it on the bad guy, the enemy, whatever she's using it for. Uh, yeah, that's 11. But what about Pennywise the Dancing Clown? Well, it was born billions of years ago in the void known as the microverse, and it came to Earth to feed, specifically on kids after he had used his powers to terrorize and scare them, because apparently scared meat tastes better, like a good old seasoned steak, I guess. It had several powers. It was immortal, near invulnerable, had superhuman strength and speed, and had a great healing factor. When terrorizing its prey, its most used power was illusions. Its illusions could actually be physical, to the point they could actually hurt its victim. It had telepathy, which it used to learn and exploit its victims' fears, and could also implant thoughts and visions into one's mind. It had other psionic powers too, like mind control and possession. Its most used physical power was shapeshifting, as we saw it turn into a big spider like creature, as well as just other people. This also comes with size alteration, as it's made himself look 5 times bigger than usual. It also had telekinesis and teleportation. Its most devastating power, however, is to show its true form, which are these little orange lights known as deadlights. No mortal mind can comprehend these, so upon seeing these, depending on which version of it we're talking about, people either go completely insane instantly, enter a coma-like state, or just drop dead from the shock right, right from seeing these. One last thing to mention is that its whole thing centers around fear. The more you fear it, the more powerful it gets. But if its prey is feeling courageous, hopeful, and strong, then its powers will significantly diminish. We saw this at the end of It Chapter 1 and 2. So, who wins? A celestial being that's billions of years old, or a relatively powerful kid? Well, when I put it that way, it sounds pretty obvious, but let's look into it. Let's see. I'm positive it can scare Elle. She is just a kid, like every other kid it's come across. It easily can you can just it can just show her an illusion of Mike or any of her friends being killed, or maybe a memory of her time growing up at Hawkins' lab, anything like that. And yeah, Elle is gonna feel fear immensely, probably. And now Pennywise has her, right? Or does it? Eh, what happens when Elle is scared? Her powers are greatly amped, not to mention the anger she would feel along with it. She knows how to harness her anger and focus it. This is how she pushed the mind flare back into the upside down and then closed the gates. She could easily just start hurling it around like she did with the Demigorgon, the mind flayed people, you know. And then at this point, it's Pennywise who's getting scared, which does greatly weaken him. Or it, sorry, it, not him. I don't think Elle could kill it. Well, maybe. She did push back the mind flare and then close the gate. That's pretty impressive. Most impressive thing in the entire Stranger Things series. But I don't think so. I think she would force it to retreat, which it isn't against doing if it starts being overpowered. This is what happened at the end of chapter 1. The kids started beating up on it, so it retreated for like 27 years or whatever it is. Uh, Elle might not be able to kill it. It is a celestial being that's billions of years old, but it will think twice about going after Elle and her friends again. It could win if it used its telepathy and, got into her mind and learned and exploited Elle's fears. But at the same time, it would still be the same. She would get scared, her powers would get amped, she would feel angry, and then she would just harness the anger. So, yeah, it could win, but I'm definitely going to side with 11 on this one. Yeah. 11 wins. Like and subscribe if you did enjoy. Leave a comment of what you think and hit the notification bell to be notified of all my future videos and all the great stuff. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.